Well, the Toronto Raptors' craziness with all the injuries that they have right now has kind of come to an end as they lose 120-115 in overtime to the Indiana Pacers there in Indiana this evening. And you know what? I'm not really mad about this game. You know, usually I come on and start ripping guys and doing this and doing that and ripping the officials, but if I'm going to do anything, that's what I would end up doing, because the officials in this basketball game were absolutely horrendous. But, in the end, the Raptors do lose by 5 in overtime, 120-115. And on the second night of a back-to-back, you know, you played the Dallas Mavericks yesterday and had that crazy comeback, and obviously it was a hard-fought win right to the final buzzer. And then you had Indiana coming, you know, you went to Indiana today, and you're trying to play a back-to-back against a very good team at home. Going into that ball game, they were, 12-3 or 13-3 at home. They're a very good basketball team on their home floor. And the Raptors forced overtime after being down 11 after one quarter of play. So you got to give this team credit. Now, if they started the game better, would they have won this ball game? I think that's a very high possibility. But that's not what happened. Like I said, 30-19 in the first quarter. You didn't defend well enough, and you just didn't knock down shots very much there in the first quarter. Second quarter was a much more defensive basketball game on both sides, for both teams, really. 25-24 in favor of the Raptors. You're still down by 10, though, at halftime. Now, going into the third quarter, the Raptors need something big. They need to come out of the gate flying, and they did just that. The Raptors came out in the third quarter and went flying. They're actually up by 1, a plus 11 third quarter, 35-24. They're up 1 at the end of 3 quarters of play. You got to give these guys credit. The problem is, though, the second night of a back-to-back, you're now heading into the fourth quarter. It's difficult. Anybody telling me, well, the Pacers were on a back-to-back as well. They got absolutely clobbered against Milwaukee yesterday. How many minutes did their starters actually play? They lost 117-89. All right? The top minute guy was Holiday with 32 minutes. Do I need to go to the Raptors minutes yesterday? I don't need to. And you know what? I got to give this Raptor team all the credit in the world for the way they've performed as of late. It's impressive, and I'm really enjoying with what we're watching. Was it a tough one today? Yeah. Were the officials really bad? Oh, yeah. But in the end, you didn't knock down your threes. And ladies and gentlemen, let me back it up to what I said yesterday. Marc Gasol is an integral part to this three-point shooting team. In the last 2 games, you haven't had Marc Gasol, and you've struggled shooting the three. Raptors go 11 for 40 in this game from 3, 28% from three-point line. That's not good enough. That is not good enough. The Raptors shoot 46% from the field and 75% from the line, which isn't terrible. But they knocked down 7 more threes. And ideally, that's the big difference maker in this basketball game. All right? And rebounding, Raptors were actually plus 3 on the glass, 49-46. Minus 2 in the offensive boards category, 13-11. And assists, again, the ball was humming. 30 assists for the Raptors. They had 34, however. Their ball movement was impeccable, and they made a lot of extra passes to make easy looks. Make them look easy. And they were knocking down their wide open shots. That's just the way it happened for the Indiana Pacers in this one. 5 steals for the Raptors, 5 steals for the Pacers, 9 blocks for the Raptors, 8 blocks, guys, for the Indiana Pacers. And turnovers, 14 turnovers for the Raptors, so a little bit elevated from yesterday. They had 12 yesterday, and Indiana didn't turn the ball over a lot. 11 turnovers for the Pacers. And points in the paint, Raptors usually win that category. They did yet again. Plus 8 in that category, 46-38. Second chance points, even though you lost the offensive boards category by 2, you won the points battle 13-12. So a good job there by the Raptors in fast break, as they do always win that category by 12. They doubled, actually, the Indiana Pacers fast break points, 24-12. And obviously, like I said, guys, we had 14 turnovers. They had 11. They were plus 5 in the points off of turnovers category, 19-15. That's a problem. You just can't let that kind of thing happen. But, like I said, guys, I'm not mad at this team. How can you be upset with this team? The way they grinded, fought, forced overtime, and unfortunately lost. You know, OG Anunoby, double-double, played 43 minutes of work, 15 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 of 13 shooting, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, but 1 of 6 from 3 for OG Anunoby, 2 steals and a block for the young OG. And Pat McCaw, again, you're missing Pascal. You're missing Norm in this situation. Pat McCaw played 20 minutes, had 5 points and 2 rebounds. Serge Ibaka, man, this guy has been in absolute beast mode lately. Had a rough one yesterday, but over the last few games, he has been really, really strong. 23 points, 9 rebounds, and a couple of dimes for Serge Ibaka. 11-21 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3. Had a block in this game, however, minus 13 on the floor. Their starting unit really dominated ours, and that was a tough one. Kyle Lowry, look, this guy is, I don't know where the heck this guy's pulling all this stuff from, but I am loving what we're seeing from Kyle Lowry. 30 points, 6 boards, and 9 assists. 10-21 shooting, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 5 of 12 from 3. Lowry was amazing yet again tonight. He was great in all aspects of the game, including showing a ring. At the end, you guys saw that video. Come on, you guys must have seen it by now. He's showing off a ring. I love it. I love when they do that because champions, baby. That's what it is all about. All right, and Fred VanVleet, again, started the game really struggling shooting the ball. Did come on later, as most of the Raptors did there in that third quarter. Finished with 21 points and 11 dimes on 8 of 18 shooting. 4 of 4 from the line, but 1 of 8 from 3. Him and OG combined 2 for 14 from three-point line. That is not good enough for those guys. 2 steals, 2 blocks for Fred VanVleet. But again, shooting the basketball is going to come back for Freddie. You saw it with Lowry and Ibaka. How many games did it take them to get back into the swing of things? It's going to take, Fred VanVleet a couple more games to kind of get into the groove of things. But the one difference between what we saw in yesterday's game and what we saw in today's basketball game was the bench. We didn't see as much energy from them today. Terrence Davis shot 3 of 9, but at one point he was 0 of 5 and 0 of 4 from 3. Ended the game with 8 points, 3 boards, and a couple of 3 of 9 shooting, 2 of 7 from 3. Struggled a little bit, but was plus 10 on the floor, though, was TD2. But, Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, 8 points, 9 boards, and 6 assists. I mean, a nice night for Rondé. Played 38 minutes, though, 2 of 3 shooting, 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Had 3 blocks, or 3 steals, 3 blocks in this game for Rondé. So again, they brought energy a little bit. Rondé looked great. He played 38 minutes, guys. He did a really good job. But again, you didn't see a lot from Chris Boucher in 14 minutes, 5.6 rebounds on 1 of 3 shooting, 3 of 4 from the line. Missed the 1-3 he took. Blocked 2 shots, plus 3 on the floor. I guess they didn't like that matchup with him and Miles Turner, maybe. I'm not too sure what the whole deal was with that. But in the end, guys, you lost a back-to-back against a very good team on their home floor, especially. You always look at the first night of the back-to-back. What was it? A stressful game. If you crush the team and you rest your guys in the fourth quarter, then you sit back and you're like, well, there's basically not a back-to-back because they didn't play the entire game, so there's no excuses the next night. This is the one time I think I'm going to give this team an excuse. Down 30 with 2.5 to play in that third quarter, and you grind, you claw, you fight, and you score 47 points in the fourth quarter and find a way to win at home. That is guts. It takes a lot of energy out of you, and they got to play a really good Indiana team on their home floor. It is not an easy task. They just about slayed that dragon, and I got to give them credit for forcing overtime and just hanging around this game for the entirety until overtime. I mean, if you guys aren't impressed with this basketball team, clearly you're not a true fan because you're just looking at the win and loss category, and that's what you go off of. Clearly, if you're a diehard fan, as most of us probably are, you watch games like this and you say, hey, this team gave everything they had tonight. And you know what? Especially what happened last night as well, or I guess yesterday afternoon, you give this team a little bit of slack now. You give them that a little bit because the Indiana Pacers, they're not a bad basketball team. They were 20-10 coming into this game there this evening, and with that win, they're now 21-10. They're a good team. And the Toronto Raptors ran into them at the wrong time, playing the wrong night of the back-to-back, really. But again, you got to give the Raptors credit. They fought hard, they played hard, and unfortunately, they couldn't come out on top. Now, the next matchup, everyone, is on Christmas Day. I'm actually going to that game, crazy enough. I mean, it's going to be crazy. Against the Boston Celtics at Scotiabank Arena. Now, we have the Boston Celtics in town on Wednesday, and then if I'm not mistaken, it's on Saturday. We are in Boston, so a little bit of a home-and-home against the Celtics coming up, starting on Christmas Day at noon. So it's going to be an early tip-off, but like I just told you guys, I'll be at that game. So the video will be uploaded later than usual, of course, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And once again, guys, hey, if you guys sign up to the Patreon account, I would have been able to post things live for you guys at the arena, I guess at the court, really, and it would have been a lot of fun. But there's not enough on there for me. I got 2 guys on there, which is great. But I would love to have more of you guys sign up so I can interact with you guys more often. It'd be a lot more fun to do it on there than it is on here. But I will continue to do what I do here all the time. All right, so guys, you know what? I think that's going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed the video and enjoyed the game overall, because it was entertaining, unfortunately you lost, smack that like button. I do appreciate that, guys. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the game, your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the Raptors play overall there this evening. I want to get your guys' take, your thoughts on the officiating in tonight's basketball game, what went well, what didn't go well, and how much do you take out of this game today? Because I don't take a whole lot of stock in this. I take a lot of, you know what? They fought hard and forced overtime on the road against a really good team on the second night of a back-to-back. That's fine by me. I'm impressed with that kind of stuff. Still 21-9 are the Toronto Raptors, even without now Norman Powell, Pascal Siakam, and Marc Gasol. So they're doing a great job. Now, you got a really tough task coming up. The Boston Celtics are a very good team. They're 20-7. They've won 3 straight. They're playing very good basketball. Now, can the Raptors do it? They're on their home court. They would have a couple days off, or I guess just tomorrow, really. They'll have off, and then they get back in action. So it's going to be a crazy game there on Christmas Day. It's going to be a lot of emotions, obviously, because we won the championship. That's why we get the Christmas Day game, and it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so guys, like I said, hit that like button, subscribe button, comment down below everything you want to talk about with this team. Twitter is down below for myself, guys. Follow up, send me, do all that great stuff. And as I mentioned, the Patreon account link is in the description below. Sign up, guys, if you're interested. All right, it's only $1. That's all I'm asking for. Nothing crazy. All right, and I will talk to you guys Leafs edition as when they come back from their Christmas break, because they don't play through Christmas. They don't play till Friday, December 27th. So this upcoming Friday against the New Jersey Devils in New Jersey. Frederik Andersen, Mackenzie Blackwood are the expected starters in that game. My personal opinion is you go Hutchison in that game, and then on the back-to-back you go Rangers. You see Frederik Andersen in that there. That's just my opinion. We're going to have to see how it all plays out, though, for the Leafs over the coming days. And as for the Raptors, as we've discussed, their next game is the Christmas Day game at Scotiabank Arena. It's a noon tip-off against the Boston Celtics as the Raptors look to continue their dominance against our division and look to continue to dominate teams at home. All right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Talk to you guys then.